Pretty sure there's something inside my folks' shed right now that just got up in there. I was just getting ready to talk, and I'm pretty sure there's probably a squirrel or some shit up in there now. We had a squirrel get up in there before inside their little storage thing, and they thought it was a rat or something. When he put a rat trap in there, went in to go deal with it because he caught whatever it was, and when we went to go look, it ended up being a fucking squirrel with the trap stuck on it, little trap stuck on its foot. And we tried to get the thing off its foot, but it took off before we can really like get a hold of it. So I'm hoping it actually got the trap off its leg. I wasn't really intending to talk about that, I guess, but yeah, it's like 4 a.m. and of course, as usual, my sleep schedule just fucked. A lot of it is burnout. I'm not sure if that's Coda or Masha. But no, a lot of what I've been doing is just at this point burnout and just being in a shutdown mode. Overwhelmed from everything. Excuse me. Coda! Sorry. But a lot of it is I've just been overwhelmed with everything going on. I've reached a point of accepting. I've already accepted that certain things were over a while ago between myself and that person. I mean, they did so much fucking damage. And looking back at all of this, I can't help. Yeah, I was fucking used. And it's just been interesting. You know, I've been spending a lot of time just kind of at this point choosing to kind of stick to myself a little bit. I still go down and bug Nate. I still bug a friend or two here and there once in a while. It's just I stick mostly to myself right now because I've just been doing a lot of that self-healing, a lot of the self-reflecting, a lot of, you know, recollecting. I don't know if that's the right word. Yeah. I got a lot of answers that realistically, in essence, in short, needed. And I said it in a previous video, I got the closure I needed. I mean, I think more or less, I think I understand what happened with, I mean, I could be wrong. You know, it's just, I cannot help but think that certain things that happened while I was in the hospital and all that years ago, obviously was not, I don't know how to explain it. It's one of those things I don't really know how to explain. But I'll just say to a degree, for some reason, I feel like from the failing of my marriage to what's happened, I'll just say since June 1st. Might as well say that. Looking back on everything and just kind of seeing everything, all the information I've saved, I've basically documented, it kind of told me everything I needed to know. Like any questionable closure I thought I needed, I got it. I think the wrong people, in the long run, I think the wrong people got to I put the wrong face to the wrong action, I guess you could say. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm trying to say this right, but I'm also working off of just a bit of exhaustion. I haven't slept very good. I'd sleep 3-4 hours, wake up for a few hours, sleep 3-4 hours, wake up for a few hours. It's just right now I've had anxiety rolling through me like crazy. A mixture of anxiety from, a bit of positive anxiety, a bit of kind of, I guess you could say, a little bit of impatience going on. But I already know what I'm intending to do once everything's final with the house. And my key goal is to start a business and have a home. Yes, I want stability back in my life. I miss my family, to be honest. I miss my family a lot. And I think only specific people would understand what I mean by that. But I can't change everything. And all I can do is just kind of change myself. It's like even on my Facebook profile, I've been I just went down a really long fucked up road, and I'm trying to find my way back. I've had to, with that experience with that person, the last 12 years, and in particularly the last 4, almost 5 years, and then what finally what finally made it come to a close. Yeah, it reopened a whole lot of wounds. It reopened a whole lot of memories. It caused me to reflect on parts of my life that I never bothered to try and look back on. Never tried to reflect on. And I'm talking things that happened in my childhood before that person was even around, or even my younger son's mom, or any of them. And I'm afraid to say it because I think I'm finally starting to find myself again. And I'm talking about me. I don't know how much of that's true, but I definitely know from all this bad experience what I don't want to deal with ever again. I know what traits I don't want to ever deal with again. I know what my heart wants. I know what I need to do as well when it comes to myself. I need, even if because I'm, until I can find another place somewhere, I'm looking at possibly just getting at least a part-time job for a little bit. At least that, until I get my business going, or I just put all my focus on getting my business started and finding a home. See, and I think the hard part is what's kind of has it hard, like difficult, is I can afford to get the home and I can afford to start the business, but then once I do that, things will be really difficult, I think, at first for a little bit, because I wouldn't have any income, like anything left after, say, like the monthly payment and utilities, and then, getting the business started, fuel, stuff like that. I'll be completely broke. I won't have any money even for, I wouldn't even have money for food or tech, or possibly even a phone. And that's where if anything, at least a part-time job would help out. I'm listening to whatever it is that's inside the little that shed thing. I just know I don't want to live here forever. That's definitely for sure. I need my own home. I need my own space. I need a place to put my movies, basically. But I'm hoping to find a place where, if anything, it's close enough to places that I can at least, if I need to walk to the store, I can walk to the store. If it's close enough to, like, parks or walking trails, stuff like that, that's a definite must for me at this point, because I like to go on walks. I like to be outside. I found that no matter how many times I try to sit down and do so, like, I don't really sit and game anymore. I mess around with a couple game apps. Misha, Snoopy, stop. I mess around with a couple phone app games and all when I'm stimming. No, I don't need you licking me because you're eating turkey poo. You're gross. Ava, stop that. But that's just gross. But I just found myself just more and more. I want to be. I need to do something. I need to get my hands working again. I mean, I miss going camping with my family. I just miss going camping, period. I miss going on hikes. I miss going on walks, which I got to do up on the mountain a lot. It just got lonely a lot. So, I mean, I just know I need to be in a better place, in a better state of mind. I've got to continue getting help, my therapy and all that. I can't deviate from that. It's just I'm finding that there's more important things in life right now than just, yeah. And I'm not so much into the material things. Snoopy. And that's the thing. I'm not money driven. I'm not material driven. But I know these things are needed to have a home and to maintain a home. And in essence, to maintain some level of happiness. I wonder. No, can't zoom out. Zoom in on that. Let's try it this way. Isn't that cool? I also like to be in a place where I can continue to focus on my photography, or at least be able to go places close enough by. Because I do enjoy doing the photography. Business-wise, I think I've made my decision on what I'm going to start, and I'm intending to start my own food cart. A big part of that is turkey feather. Big part of that is trying to kind of fulfill a childhood dream of mine and my best friends, my brothers. He had passed away shortly after I had woke up in the hospital there 12 years ago. He passed away about 10 years ago. 10, 11 years ago. The day he passed away, it was the following day that we were supposed to go and meet with somebody to go pick up a little food cart. We were planning on starting a hot dog stand just to kind of start from there to work up to what we wanted to do. And as kids, we always wanted to basically just have a restaurant that just makes a bunch of burgers, basically. But I figured I'm going to name the food cart after my brother. And I think I'm going to be focusing primarily on like slider burgers and Phillies. You know, like just little slider burger size type Phillies. They're not going to be like that big around, you know, but they'll be bigger than that. But people know what slider burgers are. But that's the intent, is to start a food cart. I plan on calling it Little Burgers instead of, selling slider burgers. It's just Little is my brother's last name. And I thought it would mesh well. Might sell, hand cut fries, which might use like the smaller gold or red potatoes and just do the hand cutter thing. Looks like a little square grid. We used to have a fried thing when I was a kid. But make little red potato fries or something. But the goal is to get a business started, and I'm not going to waste an opportunity that my family was able to help me with to begin with. I had no intent when this all began of wasting it, period, whether it was with that house or if it meant selling the house at a certain point to utilize that as the next step up. I knew it got to a point because I didn't have the help needed even within my relationship during all that. I had none. That house wasn't getting anywhere. So I knew it was more or less, it was just a matter of time of waiting for the home value to go up, keep doing whatever it is that I was doing there on the property to keep raising the value, and when the moment was right, I would sell it, and that's what I did. I just didn't expect that the right moment would literally be of me not allowing a very narcissistic, abusive person to take advantage of me anymore, or have me broken anymore. I'm not going to let them break me anymore. I don't hate them. It's just the person that I loved didn't exist. They don't exist. They're not real. And even though that unreal person that I thought I loved doesn't exist, I know it sounds confusing, they're still always going to be important to me. It's just how it goes. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. Whoever they are now or whoever they've always been, I hope whoever that person is, they get some serious fucking help. I don't think God or karma's done with them yet, though. And if it hasn't already begun, they're going to start feeling it, I think, here soon. And they know it. Again, I just hope they get help. They need it. They really do need help. I'm moving forward in life. There's a lot of things I've been missing. That I know that has been more important to me than just people to hang out with. And I'm not trying to put my friends down. My friends will always be important to me. My friends will always be my family. You know, they'll be my brothers, my sisters. They'll always be that. But I realized that a long time ago that I needed, even though I have a lot more hurdles to deal with and I've got a lot of shortcomings when it comes to my Asperger's, I know that can't stop me from being able to do better. And that's all I've wanted to do with myself. When it comes to, I don't know how to explain the rest, because right now I am getting anxious and starting to get uncomfortable about it. It has nothing to do with really missing that person anymore. It's hard for me to miss somebody that doesn't exist or didn't exist. But I realized that the last 12 years was a big fucking mindfuck, and it was not real. And I learned a really big lesson from it. I just know what the right person. If I was to open up to somebody, it would have to be the right person. It would have to very much be the right person. There's some people I can talk to a certain degree, but I also can tell when a person is not being genuine, and they're just trying to portray something because they want something. I don't like that. I just want somebody to be themselves. And I don't want somebody to tell me everything they think they want me to hear. I don't want people just... I'm not looking for somebody to be giving me all these gifts or buying me shit or anything like that. That's not... No, that's not what I want. For me, it's on a non-physical type degree. And a non-material. I need to cut back on this bad. I need to get my smoking back under control, and I really need to quit. That's really what I need to do, yet I've always been afraid. Because the last time I tried to really quit, it woke up in a fucking hospital, like, I don't know how long later. That's what started that whole situation, was me trying to quit smoking. I don't know what happened during that week. I do have questions. And honestly, I do think I know the answer to those questions. Even if I don't have anything solid to say, yes, this is exactly what happened. Something's just been telling me that because somebody was dealing with a shitty marriage themselves, and they were getting in trouble for being a shitty parent to their children, and they needed an escape from that shitty marriage and that life that they were unhappy about. I think they knowingly went in and wrecked my marriage to create what has gone on the last 12 years. Yes, you know, from the times there that I've conversed with my younger son and stuff like that, there's things that have been spoke about that, yeah, my mother-in-law might have played, you know, might have played a small part, but I don't know how much of a part it really was. I don't know what all had gone on. I do know that... Misha, get out of that. I do know that they were doing some things they shouldn't have as well. And it's not that person. Because I do remember finding some messages and stuff like that. And certain comments made. Like, we're only together because of the kids. I remember that stuff. I just don't remember from that night I went to sleep that I told my wife and even my mom, I was like, there's something wrong. And going to sleep, and then that flash with the police officer, like going to him for help, like, help. And then the flash of the little blue bag thing, that was like a picture. And then the image of that person sitting next to me, and I don't remember anybody else being in the room. And then from there, I don't know when that happened during all that. I don't know when the blue bag thing happened during all that. I don't know what all happened. I just know that when I woke up and I got this doctor sitting in front of me and I'm having to look at a pillow going, what the fuck's going on here? I know I'm in a hospital, but what the fuck's going on? Because I went to sleep next to my wife. And now I'm waking up here going, what the fuck's going on? Like, I had my complete reality completely fucked. It was like a while you're sleeping horror movie. Only to have a nurse knock on the door and tell me my wife's there, and it wasn't my wife. It was somebody else portraying my wife. And then they tried to portray themselves as my wife again when they kept throwing me in jail. That was how they were getting the courts to help them take my house. Well, they were trying, but they also knew they couldn't do it legally. There's a lot of shit that's gone on in my head that really mind fucked me to the point of going, I think I got the answer I needed. Or the answers. Andy, get out of there. And in the end of it all, I don't hate that person. I hope to get help. I have no intent of going back to that. Not again. I've gone through enough cycles of that shit, especially the last 4 to 5 years, and to take the blame, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not putting myself in that position ever again. With that person or anybody else like that. I'm not taking those risks. I gotta wipe this camera apart. Right now, it's a waiting game on just my house being finished on the sales. Everything's been signed and done. I just got to get waiting to get the fucking plumber out there to do the septic inspection. That's it. And then, yeah. And in all honesty, I just wish I didn't have to keep going down there on my own and doing this stuff by myself. I'm thankful though that my neighbors are there. They're willing to help. They're more than willing to help. You know, they've been basically all I'm stuck doing is basically moving boxes into the living room so it's easier to move it into the moving container. But the hard part is just more or less just healing myself enough so that I'm not bringing all this baggage along, and so I can focus on doing what needs to be done, focus on getting better. Get my business going and get a home. I'm weighing options in those two departments. Like, yeah, I'm weighing some serious options. Like, if I had the right income coming in, basically, in essence, even right now, it would make things a lot easier. I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry about it. Because then I at least know, hey, I can at least afford to, pay the utilities or whatever I need while I'm getting my business going. That type of thing. But God saved my life. I learned a really big lesson. I know where my heart's at. I know where it wants to be. For most part, I'm not going to say I do know. I'm going to say for most part, I know what I've got to do, but a lot of it is it's around just waiting for the house to finish the sale process, and from there it's getting my home and business going. Between now and then, and even after, we'll see what happens, but life is only going to get better. It's already, in the long run, it's already started getting better, because I'm not dealing with all that shit anymore. Like, there's been a big mental and emotional release. Like, there's no more pressure really going on. It's just the pressure of healing and getting better. At some point, I might be able to sit down and be able to talk about the entire situation from the start 12 years ago to the end back on June 1st. Because I gotta tell you, covert narcissists are really fucking good at what they do. And at first, they'll put as much, if not more, effort into getting you. And then for a while, they'll put about equal as much effort into being with you. But then it doesn't take long. It takes about 1 to 2 years. Then it's on you to start slowly taking on more and more and more effort to make them happy and keep the relationship going. And instead of putting you on like a fast tap where they drain you really quick, they slowly drain you over time until they get to a point where they know they can't really get anything else out of you. So then they try to squeeze every ounce that they can that's left as quick as possible. So basically, like, what the shit I was going through the first 8 years, it was real minimal. But then the last 4 years, when I just kind of hit my wall and I was on my last stretch of giving it my all, that's when they kept take. That's when the abuse got magnified tenfold. That's when they kept leaving, using the abandonment abuse to push me harder, to basically crack that whip harder, to get me to do more. And so I did more in fear of being left again and again and again, and out of fear of losing more and more people. But it got to the point there's no one left to lose. She already cost me everybody. And what people she couldn't get cost me to lose already knew what her bullshit was, or they themselves had witnessed the abuse going on. Whether they heard it over gaming and heard it loud and clear many times over, a span of a couple months before I stopped gaming altogether, just about. But then neighbors witnessed what they witnessed, and others recognized they knew me from before this relationship to now, and they saw the negative change, how broken I became. That person did some massive damage, and I don't think really most people would come out of it any better than myself. I'd be surprised if some didn't come out of it even worse. If I had allowed that person to maintain control, I would either be dead or in prison right now. That's why I say God saved my life, and I think God has some really good plans for me. I just have to be patient. I can't force certain things to happen. This is only going to be for a little while. Next week, the 12th, I'll be heading out to Eastern Oregon to help set up the Gambler and all that with my buddy Ed. I'm gonna try and while out there, I'm gonna have some fun while out there. I know later today, after I get some rest, because I haven't slept yet, and I gotta get some rest, and I'm gonna try and go see that movie, Sound of Freedom. I got two free tickets to go see that, and all later today. I just know I'm gonna end up going by myself, but then after that, I've got to get my truck loaded. I got to get my metal man removed out of there at least. And all it's because, yeah, I got to load my 3-wheeler back up into my truck. That's gonna, I'm taking that to the Gambler, of course, because I'm gonna ride that sucker out there. But I'm gonna show you something. The cloud. It looks like a Lucky Charm hat around the moon. Kind of cool looking. Sorry, squirrel moment. But I'll take some vids of that and some pictures and all. I'm kind of looking forward to meeting the guys from Grindhard Plumbing. I know they're going to be there. Since there's going to be, I guess, like a big mini bike race. I don't know if they're going to be there or not, but fingers crossed that Cars and Cameras will be there. I love those guys too. Ike and all them. It'll be fine. It'll be awesome and all. So, I mean, after all this time of just being in hell, I think this will be the first time I'll actually get to have some level of actual fun. So, the 4th of July was awesome. And I do thank my friends for that. My friend really helped out with that. And that was... If it wasn't for that, I don't think I'd be kind of in the point I'm at mentally. I wouldn't have sat and reflected so much on a lot of things. I mean, I've been doing so as is, but yeah. But it's time to go out and just kind of... I need to go have fun. Like, be around people that I know, like my friend Ed and them. And get back to my old self again. Just without, like, the bullshit involved, as in... the old self before the bullshit, I guess you could say, before the bullshit around the dope in my early 20s. I didn't do it very long, but I don't care if it's a month, a year, or 10 years, it's still too long. That shit'll fuck you up, and in those short amount of time periods, you can deal with a lot of shit that'll change you for good. It's what you do with it that matters. Do you learn from it, or do you let it destroy you? Anyways, I've been gabbing at you guys for like going on 40 minutes. Very random shit, pretty much. I'm having trouble kind of staying on track. There's things going on right now in my mind and in my heart right now that I want to talk about so badly. But this isn't really the place for me to talk about it. Things will get better. I can't say things will get easier. It's just how life works. It doesn't always work out that way, but things will get better. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a good day today. This will probably take a couple hours to upload anyway, so by the time it gets uploaded, it'll probably be like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning maybe from now. But I hope you guys have a good day and a good rest of your weekend. And I'll keep you all posted. I'll even do some vids with at the Gambler 500 and whatnot, so you guys can check that out too. Have a good day. Good night. Good morning. Chat at you next time. Thanks for listening. Night.